saying we got 59.7 miles per gallon again. We'll have to test that out when I get it for a week back home. We'll fill it up with some gas. We're here with the 2025 refreshed Honda Civic. Now, the hybrid's back on the Civic for the first time in a few years. We had the Insight a few years ago, which is a glorified Civic hybrid. We had Civic hybrid a few generations ago, but it's finally back here, and I can't wait to show you all the details about this really smooth and efficient Civic hybrid. Yes, I have the hood latch unlatched, and we're going to look under the hood here to talk about this hybrid system. Lifting this very light aluminum hood, this is a very familiar setup. It's not identical actually to the CR-V or the Accord's hybrid, even though on paper it's very close. It's got 200 horsepower, 232 pound-feet of torque, which is down just a little bit compared to the CR-V and the Accord. Now, the CR-V and Accord have a parallel twin motor, a twin electric motor that, of course, connect to the 2-liter engine. Now, this is the exact same 2-liter engine as the other Honda hybrids, but this is more of a you know, the electric motors, from my understanding, they are a little bit more compact here, not quite as powerful, and their layout is just slightly different. Okay, instead of being parallel, they're parallel and in line, so they're right next to each other, where in the other Honda hybrids they're slightly offset, from my understanding. All right, this is rated at about 50 miles per gallon combined, and we'll do a little bit of fuel economy test here in the foothills outside of Nashville, Tennessee. In the Franklin area. It's a beautiful area. This is a brand new, man, I felt like I completely disturbed the peace of this forest, but this is a brand new paint color. I want to say it's like called Sand Dune Pearl, something like that. Let me know if you guys like this. To me, this paint color is going to be a perfect fit for some of the trail sport models, like the redesign Passport coming out here pretty soon. All right, so let's talk about the front end here. We do have parking sensors on the Sport Touring hybrid. I'll put the pricing on the screen for you guys right now. It's in the low 30s before destination for this fully loaded Sport Touring hybrid. Now, there's some unique differences here with this model. All right, we have a glossy honeycomb grille here, and we have paint matched eyelids for the carryover headlights. We also have the enlarged front bumper here that seems like it sticks out a little bit more compared to the pre-refresh. Fog light options are gone, and we have paint matched at this little tiny lip here. It's black on the SI, for example, and it's black here on the SI as well. So let's move around to the side. We have 18-inch wheels here. These wheels are exclusive to the Sport Touring model. I believe the Sport comes with a slightly different finish of 18-inch wheels. I think they look cool. I think each spoke looks like it has a little rocket at the end of it. Looks quite nice. All right. The Sport Touring also got rid of the chrome window surround, so now it's all blacked out. It looks very, very nice. And you see where we have a hatchback. You can get this model, or sorry, the hybrid in the sedan as well. All right, but the hatchback looks quite nice here. Still don't know what to think about the paint color. Sport Touring and the hybrid badge right here. It's interesting because if you look at the Prologue, for example, it'll say E. You have like a little Honda E badge. Hybrids and other Honda markets around the world will have E instead of hybrid, or EHEV. So just a little bit different here. Also on the back, gone are the dual exhausts that we saw on the Sport Touring of the previous model year, because that had a turbocharged engine. All right, so that turbocharged engine option is only available on the SI now. All right, look at all this cargo space in here. What's underneath the floor? Just to fix the flat kit. No spare tire. The SI did not have a spare tire either. This has the Bose sound system in here, which is only available on this and the SI, except the SI comes in a few grand less than this, and it is similarly equipped. All right, it just doesn't have leather seats and whatnot. So Bose sound system, I believe it's 12 speakers. Very nice closing there of the hatch. Back seat, again, leather seats. Hard touch here at the top, leather wrapped armrest. Getting in, nice cup holders. If I remember, the HR-V doesn't even have cup holders or an armrest, so it's great to have that. Back here, 6'1", not having any issues with headroom, even with the hat on. I don't have vents back here. I don't have USBs back here, unfortunately. I have one map pocket, so I guess I appreciate that. Of course, we have a sunroof here, but that is also on the Touring hybrid as well. So let's go ahead and get into the front seat, talk about some of the differences here, then I can't wait to start driving. Oh, we do have smart key access here, so if I have the key in my pocket, press this, it'll lock or unlock the doors. Blind spot monitor here, of course. Getting on the inside. Auto down windows, for example, the Corolla LE base hybrid that I reviewed, all the windows were auto up and down. It would have been nice to have that here, but most people are not going to care. Of course, we have power seats here on the Sport Touring and leather seats. They are not ventilated. If you want ventilated seats in a Civic, you're going to have to get an Acura. Heated outboard seats. Now, the hybrids have this white surround of the honeycomb grille. The SI, it is red, and then I believe it is silver on the non-hybrid models, or the sport model. Yeah, the non-hybrids are just silver instead of white. Fully digital screen back here. Now the SI has like dots up here for shift indicator. They're just taken over from the Type R. We do have some updates overall for the Honda sensing. Lane keep is really good now. It was good before, it's even better, it's more accurate. We also have improved radar cruise control, which is better at pacing and smoother at pacing, and you also have better pedestrian detection. Leather wrap steering wheel. The stitching on here is really impressive, to be honest. I've seen luxury cars with much worse stitching here, so well done, Honda. Nice leather wrap. Shift boot for the traditional shifter. Couple cup holders. We have USB-Cs here. Also, let me get out of this. We have Google built-in for the first time. So Google built-in is on this Sport Touring model. You can just see how quick and snappy Google Maps pulls up, and you have a 3-year trial subscription here. All right. After that, you can either renew it or just use something like Android Auto, which runs off your phone. So like I said, you have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto here with this 9-inch screen. Love the volume knob right off the steering wheel. You have a little shelf here to rest your hand while you mess with the touchscreen. A lot of this is very familiar. So with that being said, let's go and start driving the Honda Civic Sport Touring Hybrid. First time in the new Civic Hybrid. I'm very excited. You guys know hybrids are they're one of my favorite vehicles to drive because they can give you really good performance and give you outstanding fuel economy. So we're going to reset trip B fuel economy here. And again, wait till I get this in my fleet back home. I don't want to hit, that was a cone. That's the thing. This Sport Touring model hybrid does have parking sensors, and that was helpful there because I temporarily forgot that there were parking cones surrounding me. This is very exciting, you know, with the Insight being gone and competition being huge in the hybrid world, especially against its Japanese competition with Toyota and the Corolla and even the Camry in some ways. It's price competitive with the Camry, even though it's a slightly smaller vehicle. But this is it should be a much more fun handling experience compared to the Camry. But you also, I think, am I turning right here? Okay, sorry, I don't know where I'm going. Amazon Prime truck. You also have competition from the Elantra hybrid. And so this is a great raw first impressions here because I'm just leaving. I just swapped the Civic Si. Now I'm in this, you know, range topping Civic hybrid. Previously, the range topper, outside the Type R, obviously. Previously, the range topper for the Sport Touring was a turbo model with the 1.5. They discontinued that. All right, so now the Touring model, the Sport Touring model here in this hatchback is, well, it's an automatic hybrid. You had the option on the previous one for a 6-speed manual. Well, the only way you're getting a manual in a Civic now is the SI and the Type R, and I think that makes sense. It's in some ways it's a bit sad because no longer do you have the manual on the base 2-liter sport models, but I'm not going to get too much into that today. All right, so there are different driving modes here. Econ, normal, sport, and individual, okay? And we have a Civic hybrid right here flying over that speed bump, and I'm glad I'm glad no golfers were harmed in the making of this video, because that Civic flew right over that speed bump and didn't think about those golfers. All right, may golfers be protected everywhere today. Watch out for those Civics. Here's the thing, I have paddle shifters. You might be saying, Kirk, you don't have an automatic transmission here or a traditional one. Yeah, exactly. So I don't need to row through gears. I have these regen paddles. And look, the camera will show you, here's one bar of regen, and I can't go any less than that. So this is the standard regen, but it goes all the way down to like 4 different levels of regen. How slow will it bring you? Well, there you go. It's going about 8 miles an hour. It's not going to 7 miles an hour. It's not going to bring you to a stop. So we don't have one pedal driving here. And in fact, I don't know if you saw that, it reset itself back to neutral. All right, and I remember that with like the CR-V hybrid, it doesn't lock you in to your regen braking. It's a temporary regen braking. So where would you use a temporary regen braking? Well, it'd be for downhills mainly, I would say, or getting off the interstate, and you want to do some, regen braking with this hybrid setup. So, I mean, I do want to test the 0 to 60. I got my drag meter out, so hopefully I can find a flat spot. I'll put it into sport mode, and then after that, it's really going to be focusing on fuel economy. I'm really babying this because there's a lot going on right now. Okay, there's a flat spot right here. Perfect. The Civic Si and the previous 1.5 liter, somewhere around 7 seconds 0 to 60, maybe a little bit slower. This is absolutely perfect for a 0 to 60. The brakes here feel a little bit different than the Si, not quite as enjoyable, but they are good. All right, so let's put it into sport mode, and we're going to torque brake. Oh yeah. Wow. What? That was impressive. 0 to 60 in 6.53 and 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 6.96. That kept this is a quicker vehicle than the Prius. Now the Prius has less power than this. Okay, the Prius has 196 horsepower. This is a quicker vehicle than the Camry LE, which has 230 horsepower, somewhere around there, 225 to 232 if you get the all-wheel drive. Now there's no all-wheel drive option here, but that's okay with me. It keeps the weight down, and all-wheel drive is just going to sap your efficiency, even though if you had all-wheel drive here, which Honda will eventually put on a Civic, I'm almost guaranteed of it in the coming years. So anyways, no all-wheel drive, front-wheel drive only. And I didn't have any major traction issues there. The engine didn't really spool up much if you torque brake this thing. But there you have it, 6.5 seconds, 0 to 60. All right, so now we were getting about 60 miles a gallon. Now we're down to about 46, all right. So I can already tell with that first turn, taking it fairly lightly, there's a lot more movement here than the Si. Now, I think this is actually about a centimeter lower to the ground than the Si for aerodynamic purposes. Si is a very tight feeling experience. It's not punishingly tight or rigid or stiff, I should say, in the turns, but I'm gonna throw this around here. Yeah, you can feel that the tires are working a little bit harder here with these low rolling resistance tires, but if they help you get better fuel economy, you can still have really good handling at the same time. I don't really think it's that big of a deal. If handling is the most important thing to you, get the Si or get the Type R. But this thing can handle well, about 80 to 90%, I would say, as well as a Si. Oh, and the brake skin and the brakes there, they felt a lot better, okay? At the very end, as you come to a stop, it doesn't feel quite the same as, the manual transmission Si, but overall, really, really solid brake feel for a hybrid. You hear that little 4-cylinder kick on the 2-liter in here, going up that hill. And you can see our fuel economy is not great when that little 4-cylinder is on. Now, I don't have a tachometer in here. If I put it into sport mode, let's go. Oh, I was in sport mode. So I'm gonna go back to normal mode. Whoops. Sport mode doesn't give us a tachometer, which is kind of I would like to see that, honestly. If I put it back into sport mode, it doesn't force the engine to come back on. So that's kind of nice. Some hybrids, if you put it in sport mode, it keeps the engine on the whole time. Volvo hybrids are like that, for example. I'm glad it doesn't do that here. You know, the sport mode will make this steering stiffer. It'll make the gas pedal more sensitive. And you know, I want to see what it's like here in econ mode. I like driving Toyota hybrids, or at least their newest hybrids, in econ mode. It gives me the best control over maximizing my fuel economy because it's more forgiving with the throttle response. And I'm sure it's the same way here in this. Ooh, they are going quick. Okay. Hopefully no golfers were injured earlier, right? Lots of torque and power to get up that hill. The engine doesn't even seem to be trying that hard. Again, I'm not pushing it too hard going up the hill. Now this vehicle, I want to say, is rated around 50 miles per gallon, which is good. I would say it's a little bit, just a hair worse than the Corolla hybrid, quite a bit worse than the Elantra hybrid, and it's, I would say, competitive with the Camry hybrid, at least if you look at the Camry LE hybrid, or at least the Camry SE hybrid. Maybe I should compare this to the Camry SE hybrid, because they both have like the sportier wheels, the larger wheels, 18-inch wheels, for example. It's too bad that, here's the thing. Here's my one reservation about the hybrid. It's nothing to do with the hybrid itself. It's Honda's decision to keep this hybrid system only for the upper tiers, largely due to its output, I guess, right? So the thing is, I would love to see a mid $20,000 Civic hybrid to compete with the Corolla base hybrid. I think that'd be a really fun comparison. And with smaller wheels on this, I bet this could get 55 to 60 miles per gallon. But with these large, sporty 18-inch wheels, it is going to suck the fuel economy out of this, all right? There's a Civic over there. Someone must be getting some nice B-roll or doing a walk around with that SI in that church parking lot. Now, it would have been great on this left-hand side of the screen if I had an energy monitor, because I can't have Android Auto up here. Look at that old police car. I can't have Android Auto up here and see my battery monitor at the same time. So I would have to, I could press the home button here, and let's see here, where is it at? Power flow, right? I would love to have this up in some shape or form on my MID. Now, I might be able to, but I would have to get rid of, let's see if I can pull it up here. Actually, I don't see it on there. Oh, there it is. But I have to get rid of my fuel economy gauge to do that, which is not something I want to do, all right? So I think we're in like downtown Franklin, Tennessee. I feel very, very lost right now, but I'm gonna get back into Android Auto. I like that shortcut. And there we go. I didn't miss a turn or anything. We're gonna put this back to fuel economy, and we're gonna have a good time in the Civic. All right, so comfort here. Now, I was very comfortable in the SI, but I feel like these seats, the bottom cushion here is just a little bit more, it's longer. These leather seats do feel very cushy, but it does feel very premium, very upscale in here. And the Civic Si did feel really upscale as well. Now I'm excited to see what the sound is like in here. This does have active noise canceling, and also has wheels that have sound suppression built into the structure. Okay, so we have noise canceling wheels, noise canceling white noise in here. I do not have like a acoustic side glass that would set it over the top and just drive up costs. The steering in here is noticeably lighter. I know I'm in econ mode as I'm doing this. The tires, yeah, it still feels good in here. It feels about 90% the same, I would say, as an SI. The tires are working a lot harder here than an SI, but there's just a slight like a little bit more body roll, which gives me a more of a nauseating effect compared to the SI. The SI is just so tight. You know, this one, however, is an economy car that's also fun to drive. Now, the Civic SI is also extraordinarily fun to drive because you, like, if you want to baby it, you can get 40 miles a gallon. Throwing it in the turn here, and then you have that instant torque. I'm keeping up with a 911 while getting better fuel economy than that 911, no big deal. We have heated seats in here. I don't know if I mentioned that. I have air conditioning on, which is going to tax the battery, of course, which is going to bring down fuel economy just a little bit, maybe 5% or something like that, or less, maybe even less. 2 new USB ports up here. Wireless charger, which I think is only on this Sport Touring model, the wireless charger. And this armrest here is, in the space inside of it is bigger compared to the Civic SI, for example. I have rain sensing wipers in here, which is pretty cool. It's not raining, but it has been off and on, spitting throughout the day here. Oh, did I miss my turn? Okay, we have that rear cross traffic alert, which is handy because there's a massive dump truck coming. Don't want to be on the wrong side of that. And I can hear that fake backup noise from Honda. It's not quite as obtrusive as it is in the Prologue. I'm driving the Prologue this week, and the, you know, pedestrian warning noise that has to be built into any electric car is really obnoxious in that vehicle. It's not as obnoxious here. It doesn't, like, under 23 miles an hour is when it'll kick on. I can hear it, but it doesn't like make me angry like it does in the Prologue. So there we go. We're back to the Natchez Trace Parkway. If I'm butchering that, my Tennessee fans, let me know. But I have driven through this before with other hybrids. The Crown Hybrid and the Corolla Hybrid, I've driven in these and on this road before. We are actually heading back to Nashville, 37 miles from here. Press continue on here. I love this screen, this little 9-inch screen, which you also have this bigger screen on the SI. So I believe that will also bring that same wireless technology. But the standard Sport Hybrid, if I remember correctly, has the smaller screen, and you will have wired phone connectivity instead of the wireless. Now, you can still plug in wired. You can see I have my MagTame cord right here. If you guys want a discount on MagTame magnetic phone charger cords, go and check that in the description. But yeah, I have it wired here in this vehicle. Ride quality. It's definitely more forgiving than the SI, and it would be much louder in here compared to the SI as well. So these tires slash wheels with the built-in sound deadening is doing a good job of taking the noise, the unwanted tire noise and road noise out of the cabin. Would I could say it's like luxury grade? It's pretty close. It's very, very close. Does it feel, let's say, is cushy compared to the Camry LE? No, the Camry LE ride quality is superior to this. Has a longer wheelbase, smaller wheels, so thicker tires. And it's not, there's very little sport built into it. It's more of like a traditional luxury soft feel. This is striking a balance of sportiness and comfort, and Honda's done a good job here with it. All right. Now we're getting into some twisties a bit. Steering is much lighter here. Oh, there's a turkey. Watch out for those turkeys. Steering is much lighter here than it is in the SI. I much prefer the steering in the SI, but that's personal preference. Now I could customize it. I can make the steering stiffer in here. Let's put it into sport mode. Yeah, and it does a nice job stiffening up. It's, again, not as stiff as the SI, but again, if I had, and that's a great thing about that individual mode on this Sport Touring, is that I can put this stiffer steering and maybe have that, no thanks. I can have the stiffer steering and then the doled out pedal of the Econ mode if I wanted to, but I'm not gonna customize that today. I'm just gonna put it back into Econ here and maximize those MPGs. So with any hybrid, not driving too fast is going to improve fuel economy. Maintaining speed is going to, you know, do good for fuel economy. If you're constantly accelerating and decelerating, not the best for fuel economy. Hybrids do it very efficiently though, because you're able to regen that energy through the regen braking systems on here, and recoup that lost energy as you slow down. So as a result, there's a Civic behind me. As a result, Civics or Civic hybrids are going to go through brake pads a heck of a lot slower than traditional Civics. Even if you have a heavy braking foot or you get onto the brakes late as a driver, that's just a personal driving characteristic. This will save you from lots of brake pad changes for sure. Now, the Sport Hybrid is about $2,500 more expensive than the Sport hatchback. Is it worth it? Well, I haven't driven the 2-liter, but I would say it's worth it. I love this hybrid system. It's quieter in here, it's very smooth. Fuel economy is great, handles great. Despite it being a hybrid, it's still sporty. And accelerates faster than anything except a Type R in the Civic lineup. Now it's a weird feeling here. I think it's because the steering is so much lighter than it is in the SI that the vehicle feels lighter, but this is about 320 pounds more than the SI. Noticeable extra body roll here, and maybe sidewall deformation compared to the tires and wheel setup on the SI, but it still feels good. It still feels fun in here. Something that Honda hybrids are second to none in is their, I would say, refinement. The gasoline engine turns on and off without hardly any, you just don't know. So I always have to look to see what this EV button down here, EV light, to let me know if the gasoline engine is on or off. That's for steady state driving. If you are hard into the pedal, you kind of hear it. And that was just like a half press of the pedal, and you get that electric surge from the motors in there, and the gasoline engine just kind of humming in the background. And I'm gonna kill my fuel economy. As you guys can see, I've got it up to about 54 now, but pedal down all the way. Gosh, it's impressive that it just keeps pulling quite hard. I was expecting it to really die off maybe around 50 miles an hour, but it really keeps pulling quite hard, like the SI does, right? When the turbo gets spooled up, you get higher into those RPMs. But very, very impressive power band here, and a continuation of that acceleration even at higher speeds, I would say. But yeah, just sitting here at the stop, auto brake hold is on. I can take my foot off the brake, completely silent other than the cars going by. I don't have acoustic glass on this model. Would have been nice, but it's not a luxury car, I guess. Now you can get acoustic glass on the XLE and SE Camry hybrids, which cost just a hair more than this, but they're not going to have the same sort of equipment unless you get that optional package, which then again boosts the price to a whole nother tier of this vehicle. The fully loaded Camrys in the low 40s, you can get those with all-wheel drive, slightly bigger overall. But for the SE and LE Camry hybrids, they are in the same kind of price tier as this Sport Touring, and even the Sport hybrid as well. Okay, so here's a fun question: would I pick this over a Corolla hybrid? The answer is yes, unless I can get that Corolla hybrid for about 24K. If it's more than 25K that you're spending on a Corolla hybrid, get this car. This is a better, it's a more premium car. It feels much more upscale compared to the Corolla. It drives better than the Corolla. It's bigger than the Corolla. Might not be quite as efficient as the Corolla, but it's also a lot faster if I want it to be. All right. I'm just accelerating here, keeping up with this Pilot. Now, on this bridge, this construction says maintain 25 mile an hour. That's what I'm gonna try to do here. I'm going a little bit faster than that, and you can see I'm fully electric. The Honda hybrids prefer to be an electric a little bit longer than Toyota hybrids. Toyota hybrids are a little bit more eager for the engine to chip in a little bit early. But both systems now are so good from both manufacturers that it's hard for me to recommend one over the other. Hondas are slightly more refined. It's a little bit more of a electric car experience. You get a little bit more punchy torque like you do in a full-on battery electric. And you can see I'm up to about 40 miles an hour here with fully electric. A Toyota hybrid, the conditions have to be absolutely perfect for you to get up to about 45 miles an hour without the engine clicking on. If you don't need leather or the Bose sound system, save a couple grand, get the cloth seats in the normal sport hybrid. No, you won't get parking sensors, but in my opinion, parking sensors are overrated in a sedan. All right, if you had a big old SUV like the Pilot, that's a different, or a big old van like the Odyssey, you might want to have parking sensors on those big rigs. If you're in a little Civic, parking sensors are overrated. It's not that big of a deal to me. And you still get a sunroof on the sport hybrid. You get the 18-inch wheels. No, you don't get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. That might be a reason for some of you guys to upgrade to this model as well. To me, I'm wired into my cars all the time. I prefer a wired connection. I'm old school. So there you have it. Civic Hybrid, and another turkey on the side of the road. Civic Hybrid's fantastic, and it's great to have more competition on the market for fun to drive hybrid sedans. I can't wait till I get one of these at home, whether it's the sedan or the hatchback, to test its real world fuel economy. It's kind of hard to gauge here, driving through these mountain roads. But saying I'm getting 48 miles per gallon. I also left this vehicle idling for about 15 minutes with the AC on, so that's not going to help fuel economy, of course. But this vehicle will thrive in city conditions. On the highway is where its fuel economy tanks a little bit, and the Corolla hybrid's the same way. The Camry hybrid is awfully efficient on the highway. It's very aerodynamic, and that larger engine doesn't have to work as hard for highway speeds. So it's a different ball game for the Camry and its efficiency. I think it's definitely better than this Civic. I would say this is the least efficient sedan in its price points against the Elantra, against the Corolla, against the Camry. It's least efficient compared to them, but it doesn't mean it's still very efficient. I'll just say that it's still very, very, very efficient, and fun to drive. It's quick. It looks good. It feels very premium. They've increased the rigidity of this car. You can really tell on the SI. And this car, it's really, really good. It's great to have that competition. Only good things to say about the Civic Hybrid. I'll see you guys in the comments below. And like I said, make sure you subscribe, because I cannot wait to give you guys a week-long testing, fuel economy test as well with the Civic Hybrid when I get it in the press fleet in the coming weeks. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure to check out my Civic Si driving impressions. That vehicle, oh man, I'll just say this. If I had a choice between the two, I'd be picking the SI. But I'm gonna end it there. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you would pick, Civic Hybrid or Civic Si. Do you gotta have the hatchback? Because then you can get, this vehicle over the Si, which is sedan only. But anyways, it's fun. It's a fun discussion. Have a great day. Peace.